What are the key components of good email structure? How do we go about laying out an email that's clear, easy to understand throughout, and well written? Welcome to the Word of Mouth English Studio channel, where we discuss all things grammar, accuracy, and help you with your written and spoken performance. In today's video tutorial, we'll be going through the 5 cardinal rules of email layout from B1 level intermediate standard upward. So let's get right into how to organize your emails. In this section, we'll discuss how to make your emails clear and easy to understand by properly organizing them. A recipient is the person you're writing to. The recipient will always understand organized emails much more easily. Before you sit down to write your email, always think about your motivation for writing. What is the writer's purpose? Also, I would add, who are you writing to? So considering your audience, whether you're writing a blog or email or giving a presentation or writing a report, is always very critical. You need to make it clear why you're writing. You can do this by using the phrase, I am writing to, followed by a verb. And that verb should be the infinitive form at the start of your email. This should only be one single line. It shouldn't be longer than a sentence because it's very short, very clear, very brief and concise. It explains the purpose for your writing. Let's have a look at some examples of this. We use the continuous, not the present simple, when writing or stating your reasons for writing. So therefore, I am writing to ask for further details about something, okay? And not I write to. So do consider style, not just structure. Here you can see that the purpose of this email is an inquiry. I'm writing to inform you that my new address is an information email giving details. I'm writing to complain about your customer service. Here we can see this is going to be a complaint email. I'm writing to say thank you very much for all your hard work. Here the sender is expressing gratitude and appreciation. This is an email that praises the company or service provider. I'm writing to apply for the job as, and stating your position, is a job application email introduction. So think about your email introductions as they say a lot about you as a writer, who you are, and particularly what your motivations are. If you do not know the person you're writing to, establish a good connection or build good rapports with people and lasting relationships, it's important to write good emails to show reciprocity, respect, understanding, coordination. All of these things are important. Even when writing a letter of complaint, we should keep things formal, and etiquette is always a huge part of writing. So always take these factors into consideration. Style matters. That's it. I can't tell you how many emails I've received in which the sender is rather unclear. And that usually has to do with paragraphing as well. So now we move on to how to paragraph and how to structure your emails. Remember, emails will be easier to read if you use paragraphs. And these paragraphs are often about 2 or 3 sentences long in most cases. Of course, there are many exceptions as well. But each paragraph should start on a new line. That is very important. And again, I've received dozens of emails in which, clients were trying to ask me to work on an urgent project and deliver urgently and stating the nature of the project. But the nature of the project was a little challenging to go through or understand because the writer did not or might have not used paragraphs in their emails, making it difficult to segue and, move in a flowing manner, in a seamless manner from one paragraph to the next. So understanding and clarity will all depend on how you structure your email. Can you use paragraphs? If not, use bullet points or a list format. But don't write one, whole entire chunk together without separating, them, because we need to understand and read your logic. We are not telepathic. So when writing about a new topic, start a new paragraph. This is imperative if you want to be really clear about your motivations, about the details. Let's have a look at a particular example of an email. This was written to a friend, somebody the person is familiar with and knows. So you'll see that the style and register, both of these things here, are rather informal. And in some cases, slightly semi-formal. Perhaps this person hasn't seen the other in quite a while, as is explained here. So keeping things semi-formal with people you haven't seen in some time would be appropriate in an email. Always start off your email with a greeting. Greetings such as hello, hi, to whom it may concern, and dear team, or good morning everyone, and dear Mr., Mrs. or Ms. are very important ways of writing. These are all greetings. In this case, the sender started off with a question to check on his or her friend to see how they're doing. Then comes the reason for writing. And here we go. I'm writing with some good news. And again, I'm writing with. Here we use the present continuous to explain the purpose of the email. Always state your purpose clearly at the beginning. Then next comes a paragraph with a request. So here we've separated one paragraph from the other to show a seamless segueing. You told me that you have lots of baby clothes, and then comes the request saying his wife, in the previous paragraph he explained his wife was pregnant, so here you explain the situation in detail, whereas in paragraph 3, the sender is now asking for baby clothes. If you'd like to write about other news or include extra information, then do so in a new paragraph. By the way, as we can see, this is rather informal, followed by a comma as well. And in your last paragraph here, the writer chooses to conclude their motivations, reasons for writing, by ending the email appropriately. We're going to use look forward to, which is semi-formal actually, and an appropriate ending. Here we see that this is an informal/semi-formal email that starts with the discourse marker anyway, followed by a comma. This is more informal and it's used only with friends or colleagues that you know quite well. Anyway, followed by I look forward to hearing from you soon, would be an appropriate ending. This is called the ending of an email. Give my best wishes to your wife and family. And finally, regards, which is semi-formal. In this email example now, we'll look at a semi-formal style of email. Can you tell why it's semi-formal? What components of this email make it a semi-formal structure rather than an informal one or formal? So basically, it's all in the phrasing and in the way we use discourse markers, and also in the way we use punctuation. So do pay attention to punctuation. If you see as you can see here, an exclamation point, then you know that this is an informal email. It's not even semi-formal, I would say. But there are some semi-formal elements of this, such as the ending with best wishes, which shows that we're not necessarily writing to a friend or somebody we know very well. However, try to think about who the sender and recipients are in this case. Do they know each other very well? Have they met before? And what type of email is this? Is it an email complaining about a service? Is this an email showing gratitude or thanking somebody for something? Is it an email of praise towards a company? Is this an inquiry? Is this giving additional information? What are we talking about here? What kind of email is it? From the word hello, you can already tell this is either going to be an informal or semi-formal email. I hope you're well is semi-formal. There you go. And that you're still teaching at Pyramid School. So here, the person or the writer starts to introduce the reasons for writing. As you may remember, I was in your English class last year, and I'm now applying for jobs, and I need to give employers a reference. I'm writing to ask you to do this for me. So this is definitely an inquiry email. By now, it should be clear that this person is asking for a favour. Would you mind if I put your name on my CV as a reference? And here is the favour that they're asking for. Could you let me know if this is possible? Here is the inquiry in detail. An inquiry is another word for a question asking someone to do something. Now, in the next paragraph, you'll see that the writer is now not talking about their inquiry anymore. They're not talking about, the favour that they needed to ask about. Now they've moved on to say something completely different. I also have some good news. I'm engaged and we're getting married next February. So, of course, I'm very excited. Right, so here we have some personal news that you could add in a different or separate paragraph, and your appropriate closing line. And this is semi-formal with best wishes. And the name and surname mark this as a semi-formal email rather than an informal one. So now you can tell what kind of style and register you would need to employ if you were writing this email yourself. Now, can you tell which of these expressions over here at the top go with which email section or email paragraph? All right. So now we're talking about the specifics. Let's label the different paragraphs. We should start with your greeting, as every email should, right? So this is very appropriate. Continue with your reasons for writing. Then always include your request if this is an inquiry. And if you would like to discuss things that are unrelated to the original subject line, then that would go in other news and would be in a different paragraph. And finally, your ending should be appropriate according to the style and register and of your audience. Who you're writing to is important. I'm now sourcing this page from English for Emails by Oxford University Press. This is a publication I frequently use in my business English courses. In this section, let's focus on how to make and confirm arrangements. Here are 2 email exchanges. Read them and match the emails with their respective replies. Take some time to do that now. Read the emails carefully. Consider the meaning behind them and the purpose for writing out the emails. As we said in our earlier slide, purpose should be stated clearly all throughout. Right, so you probably have the answers now. Right, so A and B are a match. You can see that email B is an inquiry, and email A is a reply confirming the time or schedule. And D and C are a match. Here, email D is a response and it expresses gratitude, whereas email C is an invitation to the company premises. Think about your purpose for writing emails. What is your desired goal? Are you inviting a client to visit your premises? Or are you arranging a time or scheduling a time for a meeting with a supplier or a client? What kind of structure and what kind of language do we need to use? Is it formal, semi-formal, or informal? Or is it academic in tone? Emails are not usually ceremonial, but they can become very formal if you're writing to a CEO or a person to whom you're writing for the first time. We call this a first contact email. As we can see, they are both semi-formal examples. Okay, so thank you for your invitation to visit your factory is semi-formal. We look forward to seeing you next Friday is also a semi-formal approach. So you can say we look forward to, or you can say I'm looking forward to. But the most important thing, whatever we do, is that we use the gerund verb to seeing you, to hearing from you. This is not the infinitive form of the verb we're using, so do pay close attention to verb forms when you see them written out in a text. Okay, so look forward to is a whole phrase. To, in this case, is a preposition. So it does not follow the infinitive form, but rather the ing form, which is what we call the gerund. So again, to seeing you, okay? Now, emails A and B, on the other hand, are more informal in nature than D and C. We can say, a quick note to arrange a time for you to visit the factory is a very good way of opening up your email if you are already familiar with the sender or receiver, if you know them, if you've had a previous contact, okay? So do consider your audience here. You don't need to say hi, okay, necessarily. Of course, you could include your email greeting, but it's not absolutely necessary. Nowadays, people start off, emails with people they already know, with the immediate introduction. Just writing to confirm my visit. Okay, so this is definitely informal or to semi-formal, as we see in the terms of style we're using and register. The writer here is not even applying the use of a subject. They started with the word just, showing us that this is less formal. Could you collect me from the station? Okay, so informal. My train arrives at 10. Thanks. You can see examples of abbreviations here, THX, and examples of abbreviations here, PLS, that you could use in both informal emails as well as text messages, but do avoid using them in semi-formal emails and formal emails because they're less appropriate in terms of email etiquette. Right, so can you tell which of these are more formal and which of these emails are less formal? Now we have also had a look at the email exchanges and we've decided which is which. Thanks for watching today's video tutorial. If you enjoyed the content of this video and would like to see more like it, then please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. And also remember, we're open to comments and suggestions. So if there are any comments you'd like to make or any topics that you'd like me to cover in any of my future videos, then please let us know in the comments below. And see you next time.